Let's see who we're missing. Alexis is back. This finger. I did.
That's what I'm doing.
All right. So.
Everybody fix it for me.
All right. We may not have.
Hold on. That's the one.
Right, we have Jacob, we have Alexis, we have Damien, no Sierra. We have Chase, Virginia, Bree, Harlow, Ashanti, Raoul,
Bless you.
Roy, Vince, John, Sacramento, Janelle, Daniel is not here, Garcia, Logan, John, and Howard.
Just smile.
Yeah,
what's the right? That's the time.
you said that. Not that the final philosophy.
I know. I just do it.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
We do this so So you just watch the 8 seconds. This one.
Yeah.
I don't know if
I say what?
That was the
This is opening 7, that is correct. So this is 7, tomorrow's 8, 9, 10, Friday I'll be taking them up. This Friday will be 10.
I'm just curious. Put it, which one? I know you said don't worry about it. We'll go. We just use the velocity of time.
So what now?
Or when we use velocity of time, since we got the acceleration and we got the time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
that's correct.
I'm good.
I need
Wait. Wait.
All right, let's talk about how we did this. All right, so in question 1 on the test tomorrow, what are your 2 formulas that you're predominantly going to use, first of all? F equals MA and F equals MG. Okay, those are your major formulas. Now, on the little reference table, that says F equals, oops, that G looks a little jacked up there. FG equals MG. Now, this is force. This is what? This is weight. They're the exact same thing. Did everybody hear Logan say that?
Yes.
They're one and the same. It doesn't matter which formula you use. They're the exact same thing. So in question 1, when it said find force, most people tend to use which formula? The force one. Okay? Doesn't matter which one you use? No, but you can use the force formula. So if you want to find force and you've got a 2.5 kilogram ball dropped from a building, did they give you an acceleration? No. So what did I tell you to do if there's no acceleration? Use your 9.8. So it doesn't matter which formula you use. You're finding force. The mass was 2.5, and you have no acceleration. Whether you use A or you use G, it's on your reference table. So if you forget it tomorrow on the test, all you have to do is look it up on the card, right? Right here. Yeah, I know, it's one of my old ones. So if you look here, I used to use the green because I like the neon color, and I used to tell people to get the green card out. And after a while, people started making fun of me because I was telling folks to get the green cards out. And so I finally just stopped. Man. I know. So now they're all orange. So, I know. So when you look here, it says G, and it's got the 9.8. Everybody can find that if you forget tomorrow on the test. Because will I tell you that number if you forget it? No, I won't. So what'd you get when you multiply that? You got what? 24.5. And what unit does a force get? Newton. Okay? Everybody good with that? All right, number 2. They want you to calculate a what? They want you to calculate a mass. If you're calculating a mass, you're looking for what letter? M. And what is 200 newtons? That's the force, okay? So, which formula do we want?
It don't matter.
It doesn't matter. Most people, when they solve, because it said weighs 200 newtons, they tend to pick this one, but it doesn't matter. So I'll just use this one. 200 is weight. They want mass. And what's G? 9.8. So how do I solve for the mass? Divide by 9.8. Divide by 9.8. So mass equals, what do we get? 20.4. 20.4?
Yeah.
So mass equals, whoops, did that. What do we put on the unit? It's kilograms. If you wrote G, I would not take it off because it is a mass unit, but it's actually kilograms. All right. The last question is the one that people usually struggle with. All right. I told you just do the blue. Okay. What is the 2350 kg? All right. That's the mass. All right. 2350 kilograms, you said was mass. All right. If we keep reading, what is the 8 seconds? Okay. That's the time. And if I keep going, we've got one more number. It's 345,000 newtons. So 345,000 newtons. So what is that? Okay. And they want acceleration, right? Now, we've learned 2 formulas that have acceleration in it. We've got that one, and we have A equals velocity over time. Which one would be better for us to find acceleration if we have this information?
A equals velocity over time.
Do we have velocity here to be able to use that to find? No. So we need to use F equals ma. All right, so our F is 345,000. Our mass is what? 2,350, and we don't know A. So how do I solve for acceleration? Divide by 2,350. Divide by 2,350. All right, now, once we do that, somebody tell me what that is. 100 and what? Now, if you don't know the unit, where did I tell you can find the unit for acceleration? On your orange card. It's right there with gravity. So meters over seconds over seconds. Now, from there, if you want to do the orange question, which you might have to do on the test, how do you find the velocity?
Use the time, use A equals B over T, and enter the acceleration you found in your book.
Okay. You need to find, you found A was 146.8. Okay. And you want to find now the velocity. Okay? Now you need an old formula. You need that one. Because you know acceleration and you know time. So you would say A equals V over T. You know acceleration is 146.8. You don't know V, and you know time is what? 8. So how would you solve? Cross multiply. And what would you get there? 1,000 what?
174.
Questions? Any questions? No, because you're going to practice the math in a little while.
A couple weeks.
No, not at all. Anybody? All right, we need to finish one last new topic, which will take probably 10 minutes or less. Then we're going to finish our lab from Friday. We're going to practice some math. We're going to practice some Newton's laws. We're going to do a review sheet, and then hopefully we'll be reviewed and ready for the test. Okay? Everybody got it? Normally it would be written on the board. Hopefully I'll be able to do that next week or two. They say I only have about a month of physical therapy left. All right. Get rid of this. You don't understand what? What we're going to do? We're going to talk about terminal velocity for a minute. We're going to talk about what happens when you fall through the air, or any object falls through the air. And it is eventually going to hit the ground. You are correct. Now, I realize you don't like the color of your hair, but you still have to take the hood off. You're just going to have to look like a Smurf. All right. So we're going to talk about terminal velocity for a minute. And how it works. You will see it on the test tomorrow. You will see it in first response.
What? 3 months.
I got
Yep.
3 tests.
I'm so sorry.
2 for you. And 1 for the second person.
Oh, yeah, because you're going to make that test. That's 2 for me. All right, terminal velocity is the highest velocity reached by a falling object. When objects fall, we know they accelerate, right? But do they continue to accelerate all the way to the ground?
No.
No. At some point, they stop accelerating. Okay?
It reaches maximum speed.
That's right. So, the highest velocity reached by a falling object is the maximum speed reached when falling. Okay? That's what that means in English. Okay? It's the maximum speed reached when falling. Because they don't continue to accelerate all the way to the ground. At some point, they will stop accelerating. So, when they stop accelerating, what happens to them? Do they stop moving?
No, they stay.
That's
hit
right.
the same speed.
Okay? So when they reach terminal velocity, now they fall at constant speed. Okay? So how do you know when you reach terminal velocity? How does that happen? Okay? Now, the easiest way for you to realize or sort of see terminal velocity is not with somebody who's fallen out of an airplane, okay? But you see it all the time when you see like a piece of paper fall, or like we're coming up to the fall. So we see leaves fall out of trees all the time. Okay. And you got to remember, I'm not an art teacher. So, my leaf is not going to look very good. It won't look that good fourth period. I won't be able to duplicate it. All right. So what pulls down on the leaf? Okay. Okay. So gravity pulls down on the leaf. Now, when gravity pulls down on the leaf, what is pushing up on the leaf as it falls? Yes. That's right. Okay, gravity pulls down, air resistance pushes up. Okay, and in your lab, think about it. East. Wake up over there. Get some water if you're that tired. Walk out there, stretch your legs, go get a drink of water. All right, gravity pulls the leaf towards the ground, air resistance pushes the leaf up. Now, when gravity equals air resistance. Okay? Yeah, it is. When the force of gravity equals the force of the air resistance, you reach terminal velocity. That's right. And it's called a what kind of force based on what we did earlier in the unit? A balanced or an unbalanced? It's a balanced force. Okay? So when your pull of gravity and your push of air resistance are equal, you reach terminal velocity. You stop accelerating. Now, did I say you stop moving?
No.
No. You just stop speeding up. You fall at a constant rate. Okay? Yes, it's like cruise control. So, when people jump out of airplanes, they're accelerating. If they never pull the parachute, are they going to continue to fall at 9.8 meters per second to the ground?
Yes.
Eventually, they're going to reach what? Terminal velocity, and they will fall at constant speed because they will reach terminal velocity. Their gravity and their air resistance will equal out, and they will still fall at constant speed. It's still going to be pretty fast, okay? It's going to be at a pretty high rate of speed, but it will be at terminal velocity, okay? And they will die. The impact will kill them, okay? Now, in order to avoid that, we all jump out of airplanes with a what? A parachute. And so their terminal velocity will be much what? Slower. Okay? Say what? Yeah. If you don't hit right, it's like hitting concrete. All right? But that's what terminal velocity is. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right. So, if I ask you, I love this question. If I ask you tomorrow, if a bunch of parachuters jump out holding hands, are they falling at the same rate of speed?
No.
A couple different ways you can answer it.
I'm gonna say no.
Okay, why not?
Because some of them might be like different weight.
As soon as you tell me they have different weights, you get the question wrong. Does mass or weight affect the rate of fall?
No.
No. What affects the rate of fall?
One's like pointing down, one's flat.
Their air resistance. Now, if you tell me no, because they have different air resistance, I'm going to give you credit. But if you tell me no, because he weighs more or has more mass, you get no points. Okay? What else could you have answered? Yes? Why?
Because if they're holding hands, they have to be going the same.
constant rate as each other.
Which would be,
No, they pull their parachute the same difference.
the parachute's not deployed in the picture.
Like all the way to the ground.
They're all just in a ring holding hands.
Oh, okay.
Okay? But he said, yes, they're falling at a constant rate. I need more. What's their constant rate? They're falling at 9.8. I can live with that. Now, you could have answered it another way.
Some of them reach terminal velocity faster.
Sure. Or you could tell me they're not accelerating until they reach terminal velocity. They stop accelerating when they do reach terminal velocity. All right? There's lots of ways you can answer the question as long as you use the concept correctly. Okay? But as soon as you tell me that one accelerates faster than the other because he weighs more, what happens? You get it wrong. Mass is irrelevant. Remember? I showed you a bowling ball and a feather last week. Did the bowling ball fall faster than the feather? After they took the air out, no, because air resistance caused the difference. Okay? So if you're going to say one falls faster than the other, you better tell me it's based on what? Air resistance. If you don't include that, then you lose the points for the question. Everybody understand that?
Yeah.
All right. Find your lab sheets on Friday. Now, before, I have a couple of them. I think I have like 4.
I'm missing 2.
There's not many because I graded paper, so I got a bunch of paper stand back while y'all are working. I've got Alizé's opening notebook, by the way. It's under the desk. And then I have Raoul's, John Hernandez's, Logan's, and Chase.
Is it? Yeah. An elephant fall faster
Yep.
than a mouse? I got him.
This one.
Wow, Fred, these.
Yeah. All right, now, y'all need to pick up the pace because we're behind 4th, and I realize some of those is because of my doctor's appointment. But some of y'all don't even have a chart filled out on the front. The entire front should be done. Y'all should be on the back side. All right? Now, I'm going to tell you this one time and one time only. All right? I don't think I took off but on one paper in 4th period for units on the front. All right? Double check. Make sure you have no missing units on the front side of your lab paper. On the back side, in a table, you're just writing down which thing landed first. If they landed at the same time, just write same time. Okay? And then answer the 5 questions. This should not take more than 15 minutes to finish. Okay? We are almost done with this lab. The whole thing should take more than 30. And we did at least 20 on Friday. Okay? So, finish it up. If your lab partner's not here, I guess finish it on your own or work with somebody else who's close by. All right? Get started. Yes, ma'am. Huh? You lost your lab sheet? What is it with you and not bringing your stuff back? What is your book bag? Yeah. You're fine. Look at the solid
Be careful.
They like you to get in.
Now, this is all right. You just have to look for this side. I forgot what it is now. I gotta look at
What happened to yours? You don't even know what happened to it from your Friday?
No, it wasn't here.
No.
Yeah, well.
You lost yours? No, I handed you yours.
Yeah, you had it.
Put that down.
You're out of here.
Put Bobby's in time.
You can write same time.
You don't come from my paper. I didn't ask for help.
You need me to again. You dropped that. Absolutely.
I got one. That was.
Don't be trying
The same time. They still did. I think you just got to the violated.
3.8. Wait, or what's the paper? All right.
We already said there.
Can I get it? Yeah, it
We don't need no more.
No.
You wanna look again?
We're done.
Okay.
Say no.
Bob?
That's what I just told him. Oh.
You can't hear?
Say what? Oh,
You hear the paper go whack.
I couldn't tell you were pointing to the paper and I wasn't sure what you wanted. Yeah.
Stop making some artwork.
That's where you drop it. Write down what landed first. So like hold out the styrofoam block or wood and drop it. And write down either the wood landed first, or block landed, or styrofoam landed first, or landed at the same time. What did y'all see happen? Okay. So,
Love it.
someone else right now, are you okay with that?
Come here.
You tell me, I can put you inside, I can have sit back table right now. So you. Okay there.
What did you say?
It's huge.
Saying, I got a meeting on Thursday, I didn't know about until late last week. No, I said. I'll be here, I just have to be home. Yeah. It's supposed to rain. Supposed to rain today. I'll put on, there's a chance, it's not a high chance. There's a better chance
So
on
it's supposed to
Thursday.
same time. Which one dropped first?
Right.
That's what Caleb told me.
Can't even lift the bar.
What? What? Visit, you know, this man? The bar, but it's out.
Yeah,
Two. With two.
I can't even power clean the freaking tents. Shut up.
Well, if you
Power clean is
sit down.
You can't power clean. I power clean the tents, man. The girls even go in there and power clean it.
Well,
They were at school.
if you don't sit down.
Oh. Oh, yeah. Boy, for me, you say. Yeah.
Man, you just need to sit down. I can't what?
It was right.
I can't keep it like. I couldn't stand it. I'm probably good.
It says,
How much she weighs? 450. She weighs 450. You sure you could spot that? You got to do this. You got your girl to fall down or something.
I'll be expecting Australia. I'll be putting the chain on and making it.
Okay, you need that. Can I get your wallet?
Yeah, that's a number. Instead of drop off.
This is a lot, right?
Crap, this is the paper. Let me stop what I'm doing to do that. So you can make that stack there, yeah. Y'all doing? Yes. Let's grab one of those. Caleb, it's not here. Y'all stop it. It's not baseball season. Right there on the chair.
And baseball season that evening.
We already know what this
It's not here. One, no.
You said who we have a partner?
Hell no. Did you say, is it elephant faster than mountain? Or the elephant faster? They're about the same thing. So what we doing, but I'm just saying.
Grab one of those worksheets right there.
You
One
get
for
what I'm saying,
Virginia and
like,
yourself.
let's say you drop a ball, like a big air ball and a regular ball. They gonna fuck the same time. Even if one is lighter, like weight doesn't matter.
Right.
You was in the way Okay, it don't say why, so why? Go with this why. This why. It doesn't say why, so why would it say why?
Yes, you got the same one.
Okay. Is this a gray,
You never know. Sometimes I take those up. So assume I'm taking it up.
Take what? We gotta cancel
The
it.
paper.
Oh,
Sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't. You just never know. I wish assume I'm not.
The uncomfortable paper.
Was it what?
The uncomfortable has less
It's only this.
resistance.
Oh, you got one?
The uncomfortable paper, this paper has less water.
So that was.
I got one.
Because the
See that? That's what I do.
has
This is what I'm working on.
I found that ready.
Because.
You only got a higher grade because I practiced for your hands.
She's
I
not
had marked it wrong the first time.
Yeah, in your
down
face.
The crumpled paper fell first
Oh,
because
you missed my 65?
uncrumpled.
Yeah, with the arrow. But I found the arrow the second time. I should not have to keep looking for it.
This one here.
Yeah, third.
Yeah, on the chair, and then there's a worksheet I want you to pick up right down the edge of my desk. I was, but now I have a meeting in India something.
I'll be happy with me.
Oh, I thought you heard me. So you gotta get that paper. Adjust to me. It's better than y'all.
Well, I told you I was in nursery.
Grades. Oh, dang, nice. Okay, so 4 is yes. You said, like, what is it? 4 is yes, because they have.
Part of it.
Yes. I put yes, he said that.
These are-
If they have air resistance, that could affect their fall. Position, is it 1, 2, 5? Basically, I said yes, but if they have air resistance, they
I'm pretty steady. I don't generally fall. The sidewalk was not water. I can catch myself.
I'm sorry, this one, I was laughing for a moment, then asking you.
I was always asked if I was okay first, and then laugh. If you can't reverse the order.
And number 5, is that 5 the same rate because it doesn't matter, it depends on everything.
Ready?
Where did you get this from?
Make sure I get your lab sheet.
Stationary. What's wrong?
Yeah, we put the screwdriver. All right, does everybody have the math worksheet? You know half the test is math tomorrow,
No,
and it's the one thing we're struggling with.
not me. I'm struggling with putting the unit on.
Well, fortunately, half the test is multiple choice, so you've got to guard against the units in the free response section.
This gray is the purple pen.
I love it.
Yes.
I should never use the purple pen. I should never use the purple pen.
On this one?
Yeah.
On 4A, wasn't it? Because it's not moving. It had
Nope. Hang in there. Its acceleration would be what? Yep, the gravity's still yanking on it. So 1,000 times 9.8. All right, who else has a question? Using all these calculators, lay it out here on the countertop.
Alexis.
This is out. All right, everybody have a little math sheet? You get stuck. Ask. Some of y'all are really struggling on math. Who let this crap back here?
This one all right.
Yeah.
Would this be the same thing?
Yes, they would.
Okay.
Yes. All right, so you would add these two, and so you got, I'm pretty sure those for your mistake is
This is the most confusing of it.
75 plus 16. No shame. Calculator on the test.
Four BNC.
Okay.
Originally.
See, you'd have the right answer. That's all you did wrong. Process is right. Just track it wrong. Add it wrong. No, but I marked it right. Oh, yes, you go right. All right, who has questions?
Trying to find my pencil.
Yeah.
Okay, it says, number 2 has mass 6.6, almost 12, and 64. It says man has mass of 6.6.
So that's Andy.
What is
Yes. Yeah. You gonna pick it up and then undead. You gonna give it a little. So do we have the,
Three. In whichever.
Yes.
In whichever.
Yes, sir. What are you selling?
Yeah, but-
Okay, start
This
your
the
force
paper?
formula.
Yeah.
Kind of find your orange chart. What do you mean you ain't got it? We got this giant book bag right here. What's in this thing? Alright, so what's your force formula?
There's nobody there.
Okay, so write F equals over here. Okay, so you're solving for F, right? So, I would just like F. Alright, so mass for F. What's your mass? Right, one. Don't you write the kg. Times, what's your acceleration? You do. If they don't give you an acceleration, what are you supposed to use? Yes. Yes. Yes.
Oh,
Yes. Because you multiply those together. Well, all right, what about you? What are we solving for number one? Equals. What's your formula? Yep. All right, what are we solving for? We're solving for force. So what is the force? Only look for the question word that says what is the force? You're looking for F. So you're looking for F. Okay, so we gotta have mass and acceleration. What's your mass? Okay, so 1 times. All right, what's your A? Your acceleration. Okay, so the next one works so hard. All right, what's your acceleration? They don't give you acceleration. What is it? Where's your orange card? Got the same disease Chase had. When you solve a math problem, your orange card should be there for your reference.
You're running a bad way.
You got a dog? Alexis, you got a dog?
Zero.
You choose one of the dog, okay, you got it.
She's bad. It's my little baby, she's bad. How did you, why did you, I didn't even know she cheated, that's the thing. She did bad. Don't bring that in.
Okay. So, you're here, it says acceleration due to gravity. So if you don't have acceleration, right here, exactly. You put that one in there. Calculator. All right, who else has a question?
See.
You have a question up there, Mr. Keith? Smart.
That's what you should be doing.
All right, acceleration. Did they give you an acceleration? Yes. Yes.
Okay, I don't get this at all.
Which one? Which one? All right, we're solving for what?
You're the
Same
same
thing. Force.
Same thing?
Yes.
So where's your orange card?
Okay. Just to make sure, yeah, 3,000.
Yeah. Good job.
Yeah, no negative signs.
Make sure, but that's the
It
same.
doesn't matter if it's going up or down.
Make sure that's.
Okay.
7
Negative.
They said the acceleration due to gravity is 1.67 newtons.
You put it in for, like, no, you put it in for A, sorry, so acceleration to the gravity, so that would be your A. Alright, so. Did it give you a weight? And you're solving for mass? Hold on, what question are you looking at? I've got numbers. Alright, so what's the person weigh? You've got, that's your A. They give you, oh, your weight's right here. 540 newtons. Alright, so what's our force formula number one? What's the formula? Any others ring a bell? Sure, right now.
So what up on the mass?
Pick one. They're the same. What?
What up with the massing? What that in?
No, what's your
Wait,
weight?
what the weight? What do you weigh? On the nose.
Oh, it asks for what is his weight?
Yeah, what is that, what would the, what would the?
Oh, yeah, if they're asking for what he weighs, then use the mass, 55 point something. So 55 times the gravity will give you his weight. Yeah, I didn't read the question. I'm bad about that. My husband will tell you I don't read directions either. Drives me nuts. I just take the parts and try to put them together without reading directions. Alright, so what are we solving for? But that's fine. Okay, F equals.
You said,
Alright.
you see the acceleration.
Those are mass. Okay, so 1 times, what's our acceleration? If they don't give you 1, what do we use? So right there.
92.02.
Yep.
You don't have
And then what do you get when you calculate?
She's not gonna take off.
How much is that?
What?
That's what.
Yeah. Calculate. What do you get? Yeah. Yeah. So what unit you put on the end? What's the force unit?
I mean, that's a lot of weight.
Can do the time for
What?
for me.
Alright. Next.
Don't tell me.
Same quote, just drop it down. Alright. Here's your trying to solve for weight. They're telling you the gravity on the moon is this. I'm plugging in for this. We're solving for weight. So your mass that you just found this chick is 55.1.
I said block.
You said 490 something.
Something.
So this is your formula.
I can feel it.
It's 100 newtons. Is that the F, the M, or the A? Okay, strong. Lunch work is what take the
That's
off.
Bro, they be talking all that shit. He's like,
Is a newton of force or mass of acceleration?
Because you had to go, you had to go.
Okay? And that's fine. What is for mass? I think you was either looking for M times acceleration. What is the acceleration? You don't have all. So this thing you just call it pure. Then you're in the math, how to find the M. Now, these two things are what? Multiply. So it's the opposite of multiply.
They got 1,000.
Divide this side by yes.
hey, you.
Yes, sir.
Nah, you look good. You. No engine. You drive.
6.5.8.
That's the
That's all I do. Oh.
Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah. Why are you spraying with all that stuff?
Come on, you
I need a negative.
I didn't put a negative though.
I put a negative right there.
Oh, this equals 5.
What you
You drop stuff. What?
No, sir.
I mean, you
Before you say working that word.
Broke it down.
I took that.
No engine.
All out objects accelerate at
Will you avoid that?
Other gay.
One, two,
Jack, your shirt was whole.
Why they have second?
Wait, that's in the program.
And I know you have this.
It was
Oh, I have
that's the fourth.
Video.
Class is getting worse.
And I have video with you. Yeah, you had it.
Oh, I see it, I see it, I see it.
And they may have, I don't know. But the school boards are all over Curry's behind about us not following spot.
Oh, don't you, oh, you divide, I know.
Remember, we got a new superintendent, a new school board the last year.
Divide.
They are all over our behind.
We don't know.
We're small.
I think that's.
Take it up to a higher power. I would love to take out the spot. It's not gone yet. So sum it up. Right now, calculate it. Because I'm at, that means grams or kilograms. Calculate.
But I can't win no short.
Would we have had kilograms?
What was the machine cost?
Now, we need this.
The machine, I can't put the thing on there, I can't win it on, right?
No.
Everybody just coming to school.
That's why, what do we do when we're trying to do
That's
that?
lots.
When we're done?
They say the library.
That's why, where do we put it?
That was this.
25th?
What?
And
Hang on to it for a minute.
Okay. Well, I'm not gonna run no short school anyway. It's fine, sir.
No.
She
You know,
did.
more than
She wanted to all the way to lunch. We went lunch.
Why are you just drawing on the side? Next one.
I be doing
It
it.
is nine four. Same thing. Same formula. If you go back. If you've gotten to the back, you're good.
Come here.
What do you need to be on the phone for?
are we done taking notes today?
Yes. We're gonna do a Kahoot. I want to do a sorting
1-800.
activity. Sorting activity with this
It
wall.
sounded like you said screen.
No, sorting. Somebody tell Raul the unit report.
Come here. You gotta come over to this one.
Okay.
You don't have to say thing for this one.
Now what is acceleration? There's no acceleration in the question. There you, not blue.
We got
There you
How
go.
about you have the last?
Good. Next one.
Thank
With,
That's not with timeline.
yes, except you solved for M. You're talking about number 2 or number 3? You're doing the same thing except you're solving for M. Okay? So you're using the same formula.
If you come to
Still doing
stand
F
equals A.
equals M A, except this time you're solving for M. So fill in your F and your A.
Good. You come.
Yeah, so
Okay.
for what? 4C is the same thing. Doesn't work any different than B.
So big L.
Yes, you are.
L.
Yep.
Sit down here.
You gotta divide. From divide.
Oh, wait, I forgot.
M is 0.4, and then A has 2. Write the M in. And then 2 beside it. So they're multiplied, right? So it's the opposite of multiply. So now you're gonna divide both sides by what? Yes.
Just thank you.
So what do you do to get the M?
Cross the.
Yep. So M is gonna be what? Move, yes. Alright, how we coming?
Okay.
Alright, we're gonna go over this in about 2 minutes. Some of you are further along than others. You're looking at that. Yep.
One was
That's still out. What's your acceleration?
Wait, no.
It's new.
It goes on.
It wasn't
Hold on, wait a minute.
Mine, you just.
You gotta be able to.
I always start right.
This. Go on.
Me, you guys.
Oh.
What? Yep.
Miss Wall.
You just lay the lock on top.
Tommy.
Or sequel. What's your math?
This.
Don't know.
You're looking for 4 equals, what's your mass? 1,000 times, what's your acceleration? I don't give you one, what do you use?
Tommy.
Raul, did you give me your lab sheet? Don't forget it. All right, let's look at what you came up with. All right, question 1. You should have 9.8 newtons. Number 2, 646 newtons. You might have even put 0.8 if you decided not to round. Number 3, you should have 50 kilograms. Number 4, 9,800 newtons. B, 3,000 newtons. C, 3,000 newtons. Number 5, A, 3 meters per second per second. B, 4,500 newtons. 6, A would be, I think, 50 meters per second per second. My work's sort of running into each other, but I think that's 50. B, 100 meters per second. All right. 7A would be 55.1 kilograms. And B would be 92 newtons. Now, 8, I wasn't expecting you. Oh, yeah. I do. 8. 8, if you did it. Did anybody try 8? I wasn't expecting. Okay, if you tried it, 8A would be 490 newtons. B, you would take that, and because it says she weighs 1/4, you would do what with it? You could either divide it by 1/4, which would be 0.25, or divide by 4. So you'd get 122.5 newtons. And C, you would take that and plug it into F equals MA and get 2.45 meters per second if you did 8. Okay, if you got through 7 or down through the first page, I'd have been happy. Okay? For which one? 8C was 2.45. Okay, but 8, you will not see anything like 8 on the test. You won't. All right, questions? All right, grab your computer. We're going to do a Kahoot. And if we have time, we're going to do the sorting activity. We need to for the test tomorrow.
I caught myself like this one.
No, Charlotte is.
You know these things don't.
I'm scared. I'm bringing chocolate. I just want to know. I would say still sweet cakes. I wish they had them donuts, ice cream. You know how much ice cream?
We had never put down. It was the worst pet I've ever owned. I've had the best cat. I've spent thousands. I had one.
Cat therapy. They have that.
I would not spend a dime on my cat.
You just gave the cat a bone.
I tried to give that cat away for years.
I would have kept it.
Nobody would take it.
I would have took it. I love cats.
I've had cats my entire life. This is the absolute worst cat I've ever owned. I had it for 10 or 11 years. And she is on my bathroom carpet. She has thrown up everywhere.
Making a lie.
I'm afraid of my This bear. She's old.
I have ashes of former cats in my house.
You have rashes?
There's nothing about this cat I like.
I said,
No,
Not a single tear.
no. I was almost joyful that this cat is gone. My kids are crushed. No, I don't even think they like the cat either. They were just sad that I got rid of the cat. The problem is I just wasn't willing to spend money on it. Not for that cat. I think the problem was when we rescued her, the people who we rescued her from were not honest. I mean, she would have done better in a single family house with like just a couple of kids. She would have done better with an older lady. I don't know who Yukon is. I don't know who Big Willie is. Put your real names in.
Why did you take the Jeeps?
Put your real names in, people. I can deal with extra vowels. I cannot deal with stupid stuff. Before we had kids, I had a cat. I probably spent $300, $400 a month on insulin for. All right, I think that's all 18 of us. All right, there's only 12 questions, so it shouldn't take us that long. Now, you will have to be able to pick some things about Newton's laws tomorrow. And Alexis, when you get up, make sure you raise that bag up before somebody goes to sit down on that falls on the floor.
Only two of them. One of them is like a normal.
Well, that's one good way to look at it. All right. For those of you who picked the second law, F equals MA is the second law, as Bree pointed out. So if it's not talking about force, mass, and acceleration, it doesn't explicitly use those words, I would not pick the second law. All right. Inertia is the first law. All right. More mass, more more inertia. So if an object at rest stays at rest, an object in motion stays in motion. Those of you who picked the third law have the right answer because what's the balloon doing? It's going one way and the air is doing what? Going the other way. That's an action-reaction. They're showing two different directions, opposites of one another, which is why that's the answer. Okay? Got your calculators handy?
Oh, I thought you said 3. Rock.
All right. When you go to solve this, you're using your F equals MA, right? F equals MA. We have a force of what? 50, a mass of 10. We want A, so we do what? Divide by 10, divide by 10. So get A equals 5.
That's what we're bringing in.
Mine? It's 3 years old. It was put in with the remodel of the classroom. Mine and Miss Thornhill's are the same. All right, this one's a little harder for some folks. Inertia is an object at rest, stays at rest. If anybody's got a quarter, I can demonstrate it. But I don't have a quarter in my pocket. I haven't carried change since I broke my wrist because I can't get it out of my pocket. I'm just getting so I can put my hands back in my pocket. It's a little flimsy. Let me get a thicker card. Let me grab a beaker so it's clear instead of using a dark cup.
You gonna break that down because
How much y'all do something's gonna explode? Hey, I want to retire with all my body parts in the right places. All right, quarter sitting on top of the index card, right? Quarters at rest. Did the quarter move? All right. Quarters at rest. Sitting on top of the index card. All right, send it over to the beaker. I plucked the card. Did the quarter go anywhere? All I did was move the what? I moved the card. Quarter stays where it was at. Okay? Newton's first law. It's inertia.
I just remember, and then I remember from the lab.
What forces are acting on an object in such a way that it does not move? That it does not move. Good. All right. To move it would be unbalanced. Balance does not move. Oops. Next. All right. A fireman turns on his hose and he's knocked backwards. Hernandez is not in here.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, that's Newton's third law, because water goes one way and the fireman does what? He goes the other. All right. The code's on the board, John, when you get back to code. Okay. All right. The 7 of you who picked static friction. Static friction is what? It does not move. This countertop has static friction because it's not what? Moving. Bicycle wheels do what? Move. The only time it would be static friction is if the bike was stationary. And it says you're slowing the bike. So that is not static friction. Got a picture coming up. And I hope I corrected this one, because this one used to be wrong. I hope I fixed it.
Which is the wrong
Okay, I did fix it.
See how I had it right.
All right. And one time I had it in here wrong, and I had to go back in and fix it. All right, so first of all, for those of you who don't know, all right, so 25 newtons this way and this way. Are they going to add or subtract? They're going to subtract. So 25 minus 50 is what? 25. Which one's bigger? It's pointing this way, so it's what? It's pointing left. So 25 newtons to the left. In a plane taking off, you feel pushed back into your seats. Secret classroom superpowers.
I'm sweet.
All right. Did it say anything about mass and acceleration in that question? Did you read anything about mass and acceleration in that question?
No.
So why did 7 people pick Newton's second law?
I ain't picking 7.
If it doesn't say mass and acceleration,
That's the formula.
do not pick Newton's second law. Okay? Tomorrow on the test, if it does not say anything about force, mass, and acceleration, do not pick Newton's second law. All right? At least the third law makes a little more sense. But that is an object at rest stays at rest. You're sitting in your seat. Your body is stationary. The plane takes off, and you suddenly feel propelled backwards. Your body doesn't know what to do. That's like sitting in the car. All right, what's the weight of a 4-kilogram box? You got to calculate. Got to use your formula. Alexis, make sure you put my calculator back on my desk since you borrowed mine, not in the box. All right, what do we do to calculate since we got 14 people the right answer? Yep, 4 times 9.8. Okay? Okay? So an astronaut on the moon holds a baseball and a balloon. He releases them at the same time. What does he notice? Does it fall slower, faster, at the same rate, or they remain suspended? Slower, faster, same rate, or suspended? Hallelujah. The other 5 of y'all know it's dead. They fall at what? The answer is always, whether you believe me or not, they fall at the same rate. Even if you don't believe me, pick the answer, they fall at the same rate. At least if you want to pass. Where do you suppose that question came from? Where do you suppose I got that question? You'll see something very similar to that tomorrow. Jacob, you and Logan move. I've listened to you talk almost the entire food game. Y'all can't sit back there and be quiet. Which is the reason I won't let y'all sit with William. I've been as patient as I'm prepared to be. Now, when you look at this question, where do you suppose I got that question? Or why it's in the Kahoot game?
All the worksheets.
No, I thought Alize said it. It's going to be on the test. So how do you find the answer?
Multiply 50 times 9.8.
Multiply 50 times 9.8. Because what attracts you to the earth?
Oh, okay.
Gravity attracts you to earth. So what is gravity? What number is gravity? 9.8. That's why you take the 50 and you multiply by 9.8. So gravity is 9.8. Okay, and notice how it says the force is closest to it. So I think you get like 490. Okay, so you round up to the 500. Does that make sense? All right. All right, last question. Okay, boy can throw a football farther than his friend because he uses more force. So what would it be? Somebody can throw a football farther because he uses more force. Hallelujah. Okay, that one is Newton's second law. See how it specifically mentions force that time? That would be an example of the second law. All right. So, there we go. There are the top 3. All right, if you will, put your laptops up. I have a review sheet for you for homework tonight. I'm telling you now, I will be checking the review sheet. Everybody hear me say it? Okay.
This shirt comfy.
Glad you like it. Can't have it.
We turned into working with.
No?
Mark my head.
Here. So I took your computer, you're in charge, make sure if I has one.